Hey guys, Patrick Fulop here for Effective Martial Arts. I just wanted to record this quick video today as a prediction video for the DKU versus Bradley Scott fight that's going on tomorrow, December 4th, Saturday, December 4th. I'll put the link in the description. You can check it out. So I've been crazy busy, guys, working on the grapplingsmarty.com. Link also in the description. So this video is pretty much brought to you by that venture. It's a company that I started, a new version of the grappling dummy. Go check out the details if you're interested. It's awesome. It's innovative. Patent pending. But real quick, so that's why I've been less present on YouTube and why I'm really filming this video on the fly. As you can see, I'm in my car. I just pulled over for a sec so I can record this, and on my way to the gym, and then more work to do after that. So I want to get this on the record before the fight happens. Why DKU will get smashed. He's going to get destroyed. Pretty much everybody in the martial arts community is in agreement with that. But I want to bring my 2 cents to the subject and tell you why exactly that is and why he actually accepted this fight. So, quick background, who's DKU? He is a pretty prominent martial arts influencer on YouTube and Instagram. He has quite a large following. And he really teaches techniques that are not wrong in the sense that body mechanics, transferring power through the joints, staying relaxed, and so on. But they are wrong in the sense that I think it's lacking something, and most people agree with me, in the sense that he does not teach techniques practiced against a resisting opponent. So he does not, in his teaching and practice methodology, does not account for the proper reaction, and it's just one-sided techniques that you do on somebody who is compliant. And that is an important first step in learning martial arts techniques, but I think the field as a whole needs to evolve to encompass the reaction that a partner will give you, and if possible, the best possible reaction that a partner will give you, so a skilled opponent. So you can practice against the best possible reaction that when you encounter someone who's not skilled, it'll make it that much easier. So that's one item that he's get criticized on. He also demonstrates techniques. Ramsey Dewey did a video on that. He demonstrates techniques on not only his students are not reacting, so they're completely compliant, actually completely immobile, or sometimes they overreact to what he's doing to kind of make it seem more powerful. They throw themselves or they wince in fake pain. And he also kind of hits them real hard. They're wearing like big motorcycle helmets, and he hits them hard in the head. And those helmets do not, again, protect against concussions. So that's actually another thing that's wrong about his teaching methodology. But most important of which, it's the fact that recently, about a year or so ago, in an interview with Patrick Bet-David, DKU called out every single UFC fighter saying that he could take them, and specifically called out Conor McGregor. Despite the fact that he has no fight record, he's never fought even in an amateur fight. There's no sparring footage of him anywhere online. I mean, decent sparring footage against an opponent or a training partner that's actually trying to do something with him. All the sparring footage that we have of him was with his students, who are clearly not trying to touch him and just there to make him look good. And he has no wrestling and no grappling experience. So obviously calling out UFC fighters, given those facts, is completely preposterous. And what's interesting also is I saw this interview with Patrick Bet-David, who I follow. He has good content on entrepreneurship and so on. And I actually reached out to Rob from McDojo Life to tell him about it, and he shared it on his Instagram page and got a lot of traction because obviously it's shocking to say something of this sort. So that's what happened with DKU. Now, he wanted a fight with a UFC fighter. Obviously, no UFC fighter was interested in fighting him. But then he actually managed to book Zhu Xiaodong, who's very famous for having defeated many kung fu and traditional martial artists in the past in challenge matches. But then Zhu Xiaodong could not leave China because of a passport issue or a visa issue. And then Bradley Scott stepped in to challenge him, Bradley Scott from the Fight Bible YouTube channel. And DK dodged the call out for quite some time and then accepted last minute. And there was a lot of chance. It was kind of like a non-invitation because it was so short notice. But kudos to the guys from Fight Bible. They actually make it happen, and Bradley Scott will fight him tomorrow, Saturday. So I just want to get this in as a prediction video before the fight happens. So obviously, I'm in agreement with everybody else. DKU is going to get destroyed. It's going to be a first-round knockout for sure. Now, it is a boxing match, so it would have been interesting to see his takedown defense, which is non-existent, and his grappling defense, which he has none. But unfortunately, we're going to have to settle for a knockout with the gloves. So boxing match going down tomorrow. Everybody's in agreement that he's going to get knocked out. But I just want to add a little bit in my experience of why did this guy accept the fight? Why did he accept the fight despite the fact that he's clearly unqualified? So how did it get so far in his mind, and how did he get so delusional? So obviously he must have some doubts. His actions indicates as much. But he must on some level also think that he can win this fight. And why is that? I think it's because clearly he's delusional. And how did it get so far? Well, he probably started teaching stuff and had some idea of how to make things work. But then over time developed such a large following of people who actually want to believe that he's right, that they in turn convince him that he is all that and able to do all the things that he claims and more. Why does that happen? In every domain, people are always looking for an easy answer. And martial arts is no different. So when you teach simple techniques and simple concepts and ways to move your body and try to convince people that they can use that to defend themselves effectively, it's appealing. It looks good. It's impressive for people who are laymen and who don't have any martial arts knowledge or skills. And people want to believe in that easy fix. It's the same reason why diet pills are popular and still sell to this day, despite the science proving otherwise. It's the same reason why get-rich-quick schemes work as well, despite the fact that they have essentially no track records. MLM marketing, make money online, advertisement, you see all the time. It's because people want to believe in an easy solution. It's human nature. We want shortcuts. We want stuff to be faster and easier. And in martial arts, it's no different. So people want to believe that DKU has the answer. And having been part of a traditional Kung Fu organization, which was very much cultish, I talked about this in previous videos, students want to believe also in the exclusivity of the method. So students want to believe that DK, his students, his followers, obviously, want to believe that DKU has all the answers. Because then they know they don't need to search elsewhere. It's the confirmation bias, and it's also on some level a certain in-group bias, as well as some mental laziness. People want to find one thing that works and stick with it, and then they want to believe in the superiority of that method over any others, so they do not need to look elsewhere and question their assumptions. So I think that's what's going on in the DKU organization. People have conferred upon him a level of demigod and like really holder of the truth in the martial arts field. And they have believed it so much because it's in their interest to believe, because now they can just follow this and be right and be awesome martial artists themselves. And in turn, that has convinced him of his own teachings, thinking that he is superior to all martial artists ever. Now, he is in for a very rude awakening tomorrow, Saturday, for sure. He will get knocked out because he has obviously never practiced against a skilled opponent who's actually trying to touch him. Even if it were controlled sparring, they're really not trying to touch him because it's in their fundamental interest to make him look good, because they want to be a follower of someone who is 100% right and superior. So he's going to get knocked out. What is that going to produce as a result? One of two things. Either DKU is going to be reinforced in his delusion, and his followers the same. They're going to make up a bunch of excuses on why he lost and still confer to him the status of demigod and super awesome fighter. Still keep on believing in their flawed methods, which is most likely to happen. Or he's going to wake up, and many of his followers will as well, and realized that there's something lacking in his teachings. I really hope it's the latter, but I really think it's going to be the former. Ideally, the martial arts field needs to evolve past these kind of flawed training methodologies. So we see the same thing, actually. That's what happened in Aikido. They went so far in terms of compliant training that they actually relied on reactions that are completely unrealistic from training partners. And that's how it went so far off course from the original martial arts and self-defense intention that it had. Much of the same thing happened in Krav Maga as well. So Rokas from Martial Arts Journey made a cool video on that, explaining why Krav Maga went so far in terms of not encompassing resistance from a trained opponent and relying on inaction or overreaction from demonstration partners to make people believe that their techniques can actually work. But the timing is off. The person just stays there, throws one punch, waits until the demonstrator does a whole bunch of techniques against no reaction. So that needs to stop in the martial arts industry. Like, we need to evolve as a scientific domain to acknowledge the fact that people react in fights. People fight back. Okay, so we have to know this, and the public needs to know this, and needs to know that training against no reaction or overreaction or just the wrong reaction is wrong. You need to stop doing that. It's not conducive to producing real skills. So hopefully that's what's going to happen. Probably many people are going to wake up to it. If he's going to wake up to it and question his own methods and start actually training in martial arts and sparring, albeit safely, but with at least qualified training partners, and encountering failure in training, which is so important, hopefully that's going to happen. Again, I doubt it. Time will tell. But yeah, I think regardless, it's going to be a very interesting event. Some truth will transpire from this. So again, link in the description. Hopefully you can check it out. I will check it out, and we can talk about it after. So hopefully this will move the martial arts field forward and expose truth and help everyone, teachers and students alike, acknowledge what is proper techniques, proper training methodology to practice safely and also develop skills. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. Signing off, Patrick Fulop here in my car for effectivemartialarts.com, and brought to you by grapplingsmarty.com. Thank you very much for watching. Practice well.